afternoon. You might have seen my sister in there, but yeah, she's better looking than me. I'm here again with the lovely Anthea, but this time we've got some new stuff. Look at this. Look. I can't wait for you to get this, the bug of stitching and sewing, and I just can't. And ribbons for my friend B.
You're very excited today, aren't you?
I always am. Becky, I'm always like this. I can't do it.
Excited.
I just love the idea of getting all these wonderful products to the people. So, because you know, it's not just about card making or scrapbooking. I want you to see all these wonderful things that you can, you know, extend your repertoire. So, I'm going to be here today with our Anthea again at Quilting Antics, and we're going to go through this. So, how do we watch and how do we shop? Well, it's really easy. You can. What I wouldn't advise watching me on a big telly. No. So, but you can see us on YouTube. You can see us Facebook, Insta, and all the usual social platforms that you're on. And then what we do is we actually shop slightly different. You can't shop on the YouTube, but you can shop on Insta, Facebook, and VIP shopping. So what does that look like? It's a really simple way to do it. I give you a code that says shop, so it'll be like shop goggles, and then that will then click on that goes into your basket, and then what you do is follow that link. Now what do I mean is there's lots of little links. You just says like this drops into your basket, goes there, you click on that, you click. So I won't give you loads of instructions, I'll just say follow that link. It's really easy, and then it goes into your basket and you pay. But before you do that, just have a look round and become a member of Highlight Crafts as well, just to see what else you can get. However, if you're watching on VIP, you'll have a little red basket on the top corner, or a bag, or whatever you want to call it. That's where it goes. So you'll drop it into your little box, shop code, the code will come up, the products will come up, and you press that and you're good to go. I can't wait to show you these. I can't wait. Oh my word, Anthea, I adore your stuff.
I was just going to say,
I can't tell you how happy I am I get your shows.
I really like the idea of watching on YouTube, because I can watch on the big telly, and then I've got my phone there.
Absolutely.
So I've got my phone to do commenting.
Absolutely.
And do send comments in on anything.
Yes.
To do with this stuff.
Well, as long as they're clean, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
No dodgy ones.
We do like a belly laughing joke
from
time to time, but not today. But I like it because I've got on the big telly, which is what I'm used to watching, and my hand's there, my phone is there, my iPad, whatever, Kindle, whatever you're using.
Keeps up.
And you can do all your dealings on that. So
you can
I really
see it
like
better
that
as well, because some of these you're going to need to see them really to get the beauty of it.
Yeah, definitely.
On the big telly as well, you can really go up close. But yeah, you know, I would advise looking at me on your phone because it's tiny. But the first one we're going to do, which one would you like to do?
We're stood here, so let's do clockwork goggles. So,
so this is, right, let me get it right. This is clockwork. No, it's got goggles here. So it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shop goggles. Are you ready for the price? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
$15.99. Now you get the instructions to make all of this. Right, this is incredible. We're going to have a demo with some of it as well. And it is easy to do. You just need basic knowledge. I'm not saying that you can't do it if you're a beginner, but if you want to, it's all, you can, yes you can, and it's all step by step. Everything's explained to you. You can keep going back over into your book. So in that book, you get everything. I've got it here. And in this, it explains everything. So you get all your pattern pieces. You get the images of what it looks like. And you can get, this is what you make on this. You make the Aerostat Revillon.
It's the name of the first ever hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon. I think it's Revillon.
Yeah.
Klaus von Spaceman Steampunk Hair Character Doll. Time Flies Steampunk Cushion. Overboard Claude Daytime Handbag. Oh, I love that, daytime. KW Jet Book Cover Bunny. Now, if you don't know, these all are on the show as well. But just to explain that you get, I'm not going to undo it because last time
it was chaos.
It was chaos all over. So every pattern is like that on the book. You don't have to worry about, does this fit here? Anthea's done all that, all the instructions.
Shall I help you there?
Yes, please. I'm rubbish at that.
Tell you what, I'll do
Yes,
this
please.
bit. You do
You
that
know
bit.
the pattern, you know patterns, but they're
So,
all patterns for
oops.
you to be able to just print off and then cut.
So what I've done
Trace.
here is you've got A3 pages that are unstapled, which means that where a pattern goes across the centre, you can just get them out.
Can you
don't
show
have
us
to,
that? So
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. So like you, hang on. Let's find a big one.
So the pattern actually goes across the pages.
Well, like here, look. So it's a big one. It wouldn't really fit onto an A4.
No, because you've got margins. So if we
yeah.
could just hold that,
Yeah. So
because it would cut that off probably on A4.
I mean, we're saying all that. These, if they're not available right now this minute, these will be available on PDFs, and I have like made it work. But
Absolutely.
It's just easier like this. So you've got all your patterns, which are full size, seam allowances included.
You don't think of no worries.
You've got all your drawings, bonus drawings too.
Yeah.
You've got.
I particularly like the one in the middle. Yeah. I know we're going to see that because it gives you that.
You've got your sizes, all your instructions, and broken down into sections. So when you're doing your balloon, your requirements, your actual balloon, and as you come down, your basket, and so on and so forth.
I mean, here, Anthea's actually gone and said, right, okay, this is what you need. Okay, you don't have to use that. You can use your own, whatever you need. Yeah. She's just giving you the recipe sort of thing. Yeah. And then what you do is transfer that into your own fabric.
You know, like where you're making the handbag.
Yeah, so you might want to change up these, but I personally think what Anthea's chosen is perfect.
I've tried to give you as many diagrams as well to help you through, so that you know you're gonna the best chance possible. What's the best chance? That nothing's difficult.
No,
when you read the instructions.
And as long as you realise that, you know, take your time and just go through step by step. And these are achievable by everybody. And this is shop goggles, $15.99. And we're going to quickly go. We've got a demo coming up later, but we've got shop aisles. Now, this one is shop aisles, $24.99. And this is amazing. So, Anthea, can we have a quick look at this?
Of course we can.
Right. I'm going to take this. So, I adore this. Can you explain the idea?
So we're having a trip around the British Isles. We fancied going on this virtual journey is what it is. So we started out with a cushion from each country. Now, I haven't laid them out in order here, but we've got, so England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. I'll do them in the order they should be. So England, English paper piecing.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a little touch of Stonehenge.
Are you okay there? Do you want me to lift it up?
And one of your fell ponies. So it could be Exmoor, Dartmoor, whatever more you want it to be. So that's England. And then over there, we've got Ireland. Now, did you know, Lou, that in Ireland there is a subspecies of hare, a recognised subspecies of hare? Yeah, longer legs and a white tail.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So this one's Ireland.
So you've got, and the background, it's a section of an English chain. It is not. If you're a purist, that is not English chain. But if you like cut yourself a little window and put it on an English chain quilt, an Irish chain quilt, sorry, you would get that. And then you've got the Celtic cross, of course, which you get in Ireland. So England, Ireland, Scotland. How can you not go to Scotland without the stag? And the background, it's our take on a Scottish thistle quilt pattern. Yeah. And then the little castle
clever
there.
That's really clever.
The little castle there is Aileen Donnan.
Do you know what I love? The fact that you've took the heritage, the quilt heritage from each place and incorporated that with the images. That is outstanding. And we've got one more, haven't we, there?
And then Wales. Right, so here we are.
The grouse, is it, or partridge?
It's a black grouse. The background is a Welsh quilt. Now, there's a story to this, which leads on to the next kind of thing I'm going to say.
Brilliant.
So when we were doing the quilt and we were like, I'm quite geeky really, and I like to do my research. Yeah. We got to Wales and I've used various things up in other areas, and I'm thinking, I don't want a sheep because these aren't like, you know, I mean, I know the pony is a bit of a domesticated animal, but it's a wild version of that. I don't want a domestic animal like a sheep. What can I use for Wales? Well, I actually rang up the Welsh Tourist Board and they said, use a sheep. And I went, well, I don't really want a sheep. They went, well, use a dragon. Well, that's more mythical. So we did our own research. Yeah. And it came up, there is a black grouse recovery project on Snowdon. hence it's a black grouse, and the little icon there is just a nod to Snowdon. And then I went to some shows, and people were saying, "Why have you picked a black grouse?" And I went, well. Why didn't you pick a red kite? I'm like, red kite?
Yeah.
What's a red kite got to do with Wales? I'd never heard of this.
Oh, they're amazing.
And so people were saying, oh yeah, red kite, red kite. So in the physical version, here is your red kite.
There's a feeding programme in Wales.
There's a few in
and
there.
I've been to it, and it's not for faint-hearted, but they are absolutely majestic birds.
Yeah. So your red kite, okay, do you remember in the first hour we talked about freeform applique? This is the same thing, right? Now, because of the size of this, I can't get this onto A4. It just doesn't work. So if you're buying the physical book, you will get this included as a bonus extra.
Makes sense.
Once the PDF version is going, you won't get this because it doesn't go. It doesn't switch
translate
across.
No.
It was a bonus drawing anyway, so we're not going to worry about that.
So that one is shop. This one is shop. Let me get my fingers right.
Is this Shop Isles?
Shop Isles. Yes.
Yeah, and also
let me get it right. ISLES. Oh, we do have PDFs for the clock and round the world. So we do have PDFs available.
Brilliant.
We've just had that okayed.
Yay! So you've got the cushions for each part of the United
that's the cushion.
Kingdom.
Doesn't stop there though, does it?
No. Because you've also got these gorgeous doorstops. So you've got England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Again, made by Roberta. It is. We were going to call her Vanessa.
Vanessa, yeah.
With the swimming cap on.
I love it.
The one thing about Roberta is she's really good fun. So you've got...
It's a doorstop.
It is. You'll have to pick him up from underneath.
Oh, my
He's been
word.
picked up by that. And
don't pick him up by his arms.
And so my version doesn't want to sit
no
straight.
leprechauns were harmed during this.
Yeah. So it's just a bit of fun thinking about for each area of the United Kingdom.
They look like Vivienne Westwood's then.
I'm sure they were actually.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Why have we got a dragon?
George the dragon.
Of course.
Well, I know George slayed the dragon, but we called our dragon George because we didn't know what that dragon was called.
I feel really embarrassed. I didn't realise because I always think of Dragon Wales, but it is George the dragon.
George,
of course it is.
Yeah, but as I say, our dragon's called George as opposed to the guy who slayed him.
Nice.
But our George he's going to get that night right
Just
back.
look at his eyes. They're so cool.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Really good.
This is, and I love the way that.
Gone. Now, forgive me because my stuff spends its life living in a box, and
you know
sometimes
what? But that's
it
what
comes
happens
out,
to it,
and it's just a little bit curly. So I mean, they're just great fun.
Absolutely
if you're looking for an easy
stunning.
one, Nessie's probably the easiest.
Start with this one then, and then work on.
But what I find is that people who like these, so Welsh people tend to like the Welsh ones, English, blah blah blah. But if you're English, but your family hails from Ireland, let's say, then it's a kind of a nice thing to bring in.
Absolutely.
Or if you're Irish and your family hails from Wales and so on and so forth, or that's where you spend your time on holiday. And I do find that people are drawn that way as well.
We've all got a little bit of well, I have certainly, and I know a lot of people, but we have like places or family or stuff, and it's a great place to it,
Absolutely.
So we get in this is Shop Isles, and it is $24.99, but you get all these pieces for the cushion. Extra one if you're buying the actual one. You won't get it in the PDF, and you get these 4 characters. Now that's $24.99. I don't know any way you can buy a pattern under a tenner for one thing, never mind all of them.
You're right. Getting this full collection, it's a bit of a why not, really. If you liked a couple of them, you've paid way under the odds. Well, if you like one of them, it's great because you've got them all anyway. And if you're wanting to get into sewing, these cushions are really gentle to make.
Absolutely.
So you've got everything from machine piecing and hand piecing and the plique there. You've got a little touch of everything.
You've done this in wool. And I know that you're a great advocate of saying, look, I work in wool, but you can...
don't have to. Could you pass me that other copy, please?
Yes, please. You don't have to.
What I've tried to do in here is give you... Let's have a look.
Pat says she loves the dragon. I do too.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Well, everybody's loving the dragon. Oh, Fiona says she loves everything from Quilting Antics.
Thank you, Fiona.
I do. I was like that this morning. I'm still giddy now. But
So on your stag cushion, for instance, over there.
do you want me to bring it across?
You can do, yeah. You see, you've got the triangles.
I hadn't seen that at first. I see it now. I see the shapes in the background.
Yeah. So the triangles, you might think, oh, how am I going to diddle with them? This is how you're going to do it. You're going to follow these kind of big diagrams. You've got your measurements are all in there as well. You've got all your measurements here. You're laying out instructions and stuff. But if you do this, you will end up with 4 of those blocks there.
Yeah.
That whole flying geese unit, it's called.
Right. And that's the name of the quilt.
Technical thing, yeah. But I've tried to make it as simple as I can. So once you've got these, you've got your 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. All you've then got to add is squares in each corner and in the centre there. Really simple. And as you look at other ones, all the instructions are in for all of them, but I've just... In fact, here we go.
I mean, if you just want the pattern without the applique, you've still got that beautiful pattern background, haven't you?
So you've got, like, you know, your rows, you make your rows up, telling you how to get your points nice, the whole thing. I've tried to give you, and hold your hand, give you as much information as possible. For the Welsh one, let's just have a look here.
Oh, I brought Irish one, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just that the Welsh one was the one that was looking at me. So for the Welsh one...
I'll move this forward for you.
You've got your centre square, and again, it's surrounded by triangles. Well, looking at your instructions, you can see you put one triangle on, you move round, you put, you know, your next one on, you just keep moving round with your triangles. So none of them are difficult. And again, like the Scottish one, once you've made your 3 rows, you're just joining it like, this is what we call a 9-patch quilt, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You make your rows and then you join them together. So
now you broke it down. It makes a lot simpler idea of how you actually achieve that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So if you've got questions on the piecing and stuff,
yes,
do
I've
send
got that.
in messages, and we'll try and get to as many.
Jill
as we
says
can.
she loves. Jill loves the stag. Clear instructions as usual. Thank you. Anthea, she says, well done. It's beautiful. Can I just show you that time? I want to show you that because that is, I love that design. And it could be useful for many other things as well. It doesn't just have to be on here, but I like that design as it's, I personally, I think if I got a couple of them cut out, I wouldn't need to do all that if I didn't want. I could just cut several of them out and make a pattern from it.
So you like, as a mixed media person, would you do paper stuff with things like this? Oh
yeah, easy.
So what kind of stuff would you do?
Well, I'd do it exactly the same, but I'd put texture paste through and stuff like that. So I would use all my offcuts of jelly plate or on printing on fabric, but then I would applique these like that.
You see, you're talking a new language to me now because I don't know all this stuff. So that's really good. Do you know what I love about coming to Highlight is we can just take one craft and we can meld it with another one, and we can make one kind of stuff work with others. You're
right, and what we need to do is show everybody how that works, because sometimes people will go, I don't get that, or how does that work? But that's what we've got to do, and we've got a demo, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Yes. Yeah. So we've broken down all the things into demos, and Anthea's just done this for us, so it's been really, really good there. But all these things we'll be able to show you step by step. Anthea's going to break it down, and we're going to look at it. So we're going to go to demo now, if that's all right.
Let's have a go. I'll just give you that.
Yes, please, because otherwise it'll drop on the floor.
Because I've got a few bits and bobs here. Oh, have we got...
Patricia says a favourite is the hair.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
I think they're all beautiful. Look at me, I just stood there letting her struggle like that. Just stood there like that.
I'll struggle, Lou. It's all right.
I'm just too busy looking.
Right, now,
go on.
I'm really, really aware that lots of people watching today that you might be new to sewing.
Yep, let me get rid of that.
So I'm going to give you some basic advice.
Brilliant.
Before you be. Now, this is as basic as it gets. So I've got my hands on this machine about half an hour ago.
And she really did?
Yeah.
Seriously?
And
not fibbing?
without an instruction book. So not that I'm complaining, but kind of...
Good machine, though, that.
Well, yeah, I agree. But why I say without an instruction book is because I haven't been able to go through and find the nitty-gritties that I need. So when you start with your sewing machine, number one, always read your instruction book, because you will have one with your machine where, you know, the lovely David just brought me this. But then the first thing that I did, I got some scrap fabric and I've had a play.
Right,
because
so
I
would you
didn't know
suggest doing that?
all the time, every single time. Now, a really good thing to do with your machine when you start, and this is a machine you're selling, this brother one, I think,
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
are, yeah.
What I would do is get some, well, just cut a square, and maybe put some wadding behind it, and you like make a sandwich, so some cotton, some wadding, and some cotton, just because it's going to have a bit more body, it'll be a bit more robust, right? And I'm going to turn this round here, and then I'm going to show you. So many of these stitches on here you probably won't use as a regular thing, but what I would do on my square, in fact here's a square I prepared earlier, I would start and I would have your first stitch and I would be playing around with length and width, and going down and write on your square, you know, what you found and what you like and all the rest. And it's a reference guide then.
And you can put them all together and you can make a soft sketchbook.
Sometimes we don't think about making stitches wider and longer and all the rest. And the reason I say that is because the first thing I did with this machine is I started having a play, because I wanted to know where the 1/4 inch was, and I wanted to know the size of stitch. Have I left my specs round there? Can you see them? So one of the stitches, without my specs I can't tell which one, is bigger than the other, because I just wanted, see this one, I like that stitch length better than that one.
And if I just turn this round on the dragon's wing, you can see what Anthea means by, if you change your stitch length, then you get this wonderful decorative edge. So play around with your machine. And actually, so it might be that you need smaller stitches. So that's a really good shout, that. Thank you.
Confidence-wise, this one is your stitch length, it's your contrasting colours, and all the rest of it. Oh, could you grab me that clockwork goggles as well? And maybe cushion. We could have the whole lot, couldn't we?
Yeah, are you winding me up now?
No,
She's winding me up
the
now.
actual sample.
Oh, sorry, right, yeah.
So we were talking beforehand.
Oh,
and we
yes.
wondered, because me bringing sewing here is quite new.
It's very new, and we want to bring all these things to you, but it might be a bit, how do we start?
Right. So this wasn't a demo I was planning on doing, so I've just knocked it up out what I had in my bag. But just to put the background of this cushion together, if you're a brand new sewer, this is as basic as it gets.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Right,
so
when you're joining, hang on a sec. I'm almost ready. I'm like,
I'll hold it for you there.
So when you're joining your seams, we tend to use, when you're patchworking, for instance, a 1/4 inch seam. So that's 6 mil if you're in metric.
Right.
And I say that because I borrowed your stuff, and it's all in metric, and I had to get the 12 inch ruler, the 30 centimetre ruler, and put it against your board to find where my metric was.
You have your own tools though, don't you?
Exactly.
And you get used to them.
If you're converting from another craft to this and you don't want to repurchase your equipment, you just need to...
Just tweak. We're all good at tweaking.
Anyway, so all the seams are joined together with a 1/4 inch seam.
Yeah.
And if you do that and you keep your seams equal the whole way around, you're okay. Now, if you're using a slightly different seam, as long as you're using the same seam, you should more or less get away with it. So
I'll hold that then, and you're going to show us.
And then you're going to pass me that book there.
And I'm going to pass you that.
Yeah. Because in here, what I've tried to do is hold your hand the whole way through. And we've been in here, haven't we? And we've muxed it up.
I touched that.
I said we.
You did that one, not me.
So on here, I've numbered all the pieces, and you've also got, I've given you what I've cut and the sizes I've cut, and then as you work through, it'll give you your piece in order. Did I?
And by piece in order, it means like the way you put it together, like. So, Anthea's done that, so she knows what's first and what's last. Otherwise it can get you confused.
So when you start...
Because people might not know that,
Yeah, so
piece
here,
in order.
It says here, join piece 1, which is on here is the leather piece, to piece 2, which is the gold piece. And then join this to the red So there we go. So I'm just going to lay them out. Now, because mine are different colours, because I've just done it like...
Red, but we can
in
say
the back room
that would be
kind of thing.
red,
I just
or...
need a sec to work it out. So let's have a look. Let's have a thing.
So
it's going to go...
What Anthea's using is that pattern layout, so that you don't have to have the same colours or anything. This is the pattern layout, and then you choose where the fabric goes or what fabric it is. So now we're laying it down, and this is the order that maybe not like the same, exactly the same, but it doesn't need to be. You've lost a bit.
A little piece of gold.
Little piece of gold.
Yeah. Anyway,
I will look for that.
well, I can just cut some.
I'll look for that.
Just, shall I just pretend that we've got
No.
gold? Have you found it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's even better.
There you go.
Perfect. Right. So your first thing, you've cut all these pieces out. You've laid them down. Now your first thing is, how the dickens is that going to go together? It doesn't
Absolutely.
fit, does it?
No.
It looks like it doesn't
And that's
fit.
why it was so
Where's
important.
That book, please.
When you said, and I said, oh, it'd be great to show them, and you've come up with this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, right, when it says on here your piecing order, this is how you're going to make it fit, because every time you sew a seam, you're going to lose 1/4 inch off each side. So that's going to help the pieces to start and fit. So this gold one, piece 1, well, piece 2 onto piece 1 there, and then once I've joined them, you can see, so I'm overlapping just to kind of make allowance, to kind of, what do you call it, symbolise the seam allowance.
Yeah.
So I put those 2 on there, that seam allowance is taken up, and that one, and you can see all of a sudden they start to fit. So I'm going to use the machine and I'm going to sew these together. Turn that the right way around, and then I can get everything on the right.
So it says number
right
1
line.
to number 2, 1/4 inch, or whatever that is in millimetres.
Now, this is where the disaster could strike here, because I just got my hands on this machine literally just before the show, and no instruction manual. I don't know how to move the needle position across, so we might just be, you know, when you have it with your instruction book, whoops, you'll be on a completely different plane to me. So I'm just kind of going with what I think is a 1/4 inch.
It's really interesting
And all
how
these,
difficult we make it with different, how difficult it can be with different tools, but really...
Well, I think a brand new machine on live TV.
No, I think you're doing blooming well. That just shows everybody, though, that you can do it.
So you join piece 1 to piece 2.
Right.
And then
it says...
join this to the red, matching the gold to the edge of the red. There we go. Let's join that on there.
And you use always, when you're quilting like this, it's right sides together. That means the front of the fabric and the front of the fabric, so that when it opens out, you can't see the seam.
Now, you know that thing where I said that I'd, where are we on here? I used your stuff out there that was all millimetres. Because this is not a demonstration that I planned to do.
Well, it's just showing you the piecing order.
No, what I'm doing is making it okay for when I've got a lump left at the end.
This is it. This is all. She keeps saying all this, and it looks absolutely fine.
It will look fine. It will look fine. And you will have had loads of time at home, and you will have done this. I think what I've done is...
It's basically straight lines at 1/4 inch, and I'm not a purist, so I'd be whizzing up and down here. It certainly won't look like that, anyway.
Stitched the wrong bit on. No, I haven't stitched the wrong bit on. Right, I'll fold it back and it'll be fine. So for like quilting on the hoof, I think we're doing okay.
So this is, now this one is shop goggles at $15.99, isn't it? And then the other one is shop aisles at $24.99. So don't forget, the aisles is all the places, goggles is the wonderful steampunk. So this is what the demo is now.
So we've got piece 1 and piece 2. Sorry, you know what I mean. There we go.
Can you see how it's starting to fit now?
Yeah. So where at first these didn't fit, now they're looking like they're going to be a good fit, aren't they? So right sides together. And when we're talking right sides together, so if you're working with cotton, you've got a right side and you've got a wrong side. Mm-hmm. So right sides together just means the good bits.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the good bits together.
Because
So let's
then
put that
you open it up and the
there.
bad sides are all hidden.
Yeah, now let's have a little vision here, because you can, whoops.
I like this kit, it's lovely. It's got everything in this kit.
Yeah, so you can pin or you can clip, and I'm just clipping. And the beauty of clipping is you don't prick your fingers. So sew down.
These are all new things. When I was at school doing textile, well, we used to call it needlework.
Yeah.
Everything had to be pinned and tacked.
Oh,
now we've got little clips.
Well, do you know what? I think tacking is, it needs to come back a bit, does tacking?
Oh, I don't. No way. I think tacking is a nice way of, I like showing gubbins on stuff, how it works, how it's made.
But sometimes we don't tack when probably we should tack.
Oh, well, yeah. But I sort of like mash it up at end.
Yeah. There we go, needle up.
Now, I know you are very, very precise with your stuff.
Well, if you follow the instructions, you will be too.
Exactly.
Because
that's
the
such a good way.
measurements are,
They're all there ready for you, aren't they?
All your measurements are there. You just have to cut following these this size guide.
What would you recommend? A good pair of scissors or a rotary cutter?
So when you're cutting fabric, you want your mat, your cutting mat, your self-healing cutting mat.
Which a lot of us have.
You want the proper Perspex ruler.
So you can see
and your rotary cutter. And the beauty of that is, we haven't got the mat here to show you, but you'd put your ruler down and then you would cut straight up the side of your ruler.
Yeah.
No messing about. So you know when you're doing your scissors and you cut steps into something, with your rotary cutter,
you don't need that.
Don't get
no,
that.
no.
So we've got the main of this is sorted now.
Right.
She's just realised that she hadn't made a boob before. She's made one now.
Right.
And then you go on and
we've got shop clock, the
and
PDF,
you go on,
and shop round the PDF.
Yeah.
Now,
and
can you
just go around, you do all your pieces, and there you go.
Can you give me a price for those?
You end up with a nice cushion there. So excuse me being a bit like flustered there and thinking I've made a mistake, rectifying the mistake. No, I have.
Shop clock,
yes,
right? And that's $15.99. No, it isn't. Shop clock is $15.99. Shop. The other one is round, and that's $24.99. So slightly different names.
So as best friend, do you know what our best friend is? Our unpicker.
Why have you done that wrong? I don't get it.
I'll tell you why.
No, I don't understand how you've got that wrong.
No, I'll tell you exactly why.
Go on.
You can make my shame complete.
No, because I don't think there's something wrong with it.
Because when I started, I was feeling a bit flustered, and I put that together, and I thought, oh, I've cut it too long, so I folded it under, thinking I'd get away with it, thinking nobody'd notice, and actually, it should be sticking out there so that the last piece fits on. But we've got away with it.
You can change that.
We've got away.
Yeah.
Well, I don't pick it, to be fair.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, but a little like crash course, literally.
See, I'd literally stick that on there and I'd put a bit of gold there. Well, so do you know what I'm like? I'm not like the purist, though, am I?
Well,
so.
I think when you're not live, and you've got a moment to yourself, and you're not like stressing, which is exactly what I was doing.
I think that's a really good point, because if you find that you've done this at home and you do it, you can unpick it. But it is simpler. We're keeping, if I just show you on here, it's keeping this
quarter inch. Yeah.
Quarter inch all the way up. Look how neat that is, and then it does it for you.
Yeah, your quarter inch. So here we are. Look, that's a better view at it. So I've just done that by eye, and as long as you're kind of fairly okay, down the way. But different machines, and I haven't had a chance to have a look at this properly because I literally just got it. So you can get quarter inch feet that will help you.
Absolutely.
Some machines you can move the needle position over, and I think on this one you possibly can, because I know on some of the other brothers you can. I just don't know how you do it. But you'd get your quarter inch seam. Bob's your uncle. And
I think everybody, you've got the idea of how they all fit and how the instructions lead for. Could we have a look back at the products, because we haven't had a good look?
We haven't had a good look.
No.
So let's put them.
Let's put that there. Now, in the books and stuff, you get the patterns and everything for making all these. Now,
is that still there?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'll give you this one if you want to.
Yep.
Shall I come the other side of you?
I'll be all right for one
All
second.
right, then.
I'm just going to show you here. We've got the wonderful, well, he's a
Klaus
rabbit.
von Spaceman.
Yeah, I don't know names because he's got some weird name.
Yeah.
And we've got a beautiful book cover, the bag, the balloon, and then the cushion. And we've got an extra one if we wish. So what I'm going to do is allow Anthea now to come and talk a little bit more about the bags.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm just having a flick down there.
it's all right. I've been keeping my eyes on it. Don't worry. So all about these. So this is shop goggles.
Okay. So we've got here the Time Flies cushion. Fabulous if you're already into your mixed media and you've got the cogs and the keys and all that. Or just get in the junk drawer.
Absolutely.
Get in your junk drawer and make it up. And then we've got here. I don't know where the inspiration came from for that. Do you know what this is on the top?
Is it for fruit and stuff?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. We wanted some. We didn't want like a net fabric. So supermarket.
Yeah.
And
that's
just
how mixed media artists think.
Exactly. And then you've got your keys down here. Now I had bought them in a craft set stuff.
You can
but
get
do you know
them.
what? Charity shop keys.
I tell you what else, we've got some moulds as well that you can make your own resin keys and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've got some stuff. And if you look at the website, you can make your own embellishments. So you can add your own stuff.
Yeah. So I've put it on this jewellery stand, but you could put a hook under a shelf.
I think that'd make a great mobile.
On your, or on your opener for your window, your top window. But there's like loads of ways of hanging that. I love that one.
You don't have to put a basket on it. What you could do is put a crystal on it. So that is a chime and make it to a wind chime.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, because the basic shape's there. And at Christmas is a nice one, what you could do with this pattern. You could do some beading over the top and have it like a beaded bauble.
It's a big Christmas bauble, isn't it, really? Do you know what? It's so obvious I never even thought of that.
Sometimes. Wood for the trees.
Oh, yeah.
So this bag now.
Overboard Claude. So
look at the
earlier
insert.
we looked at some of the applique. Now you do get a bonus drawing with Claude.
Look at that.
And we've also put in this bunny. And this is made, the technique I will be doing this technique with you.
Yeah.
Working from the back there. And then now he's finished, to use him, you just cut him out and then you've got a freestanding applique shape there on the inner form. It's fabulous.
I love the back of that.
Yeah. This actually, they all laughed at me at work and they went, because I said, I'm just going to do this. They went, oh, how are you going to get that finished in time? I went, it's fine. And do you know, the main body of this bag was done in an hour.
Really?
Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was done in an hour, which even I can't believe myself. So the back and front are all made in one and then just folded in half.
This piece in here, this is, I remember when I was doing my research for some of the stuff I was doing, the Elizabethans used to use the slash work like to reveal
it's
stuff.
A box pleat.
Yeah.
So what you've got is the gold is twice as wide as the black, and then you just fold it underneath.
Yeah.
And if you're not perfect, you can get away with it with this because no one is going to be in there. But if I just
want to see how beautiful that flash of gold is.
When you fill your bag,
it extends.
And you could do any colours for this.
Yeah.
And the way, like you don't have to have the applique if you don't want. Yeah. But you could do any colours. So like this could be really seasonal. So you could do, I don't know, a red bag with yellow in the middle. You can do brown with orange.
You could do anything you want.
Anything. If you want to change that applique to something that's seasonal, just go on with the seasonal applique. We did a version of this actually. It was brown with kind of an ochre coloured cord inside, and we put pumpkins on the top.
Wow.
For autumn. So it's a great bag.
Look at the
and
shape.
It's with this gold, it's a bit of a statement. Now,
I'd wear this every day. I'd have that on every day.
Because it's got just a simple lining. Whatever's in your bag is not going to be pushing on that. So that's not taking any stress in the sense of,
and it's a nice thick band, isn't it? This is, so it's nice on your shoulder, that.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I just called it a daytime handbag because I thought, do you know, You wouldn't be putting your full load of shopping in there.
I tell you what, I just think I just love the opulence in that. I love the shape. I love the design. I love the fact that it looks like you're only going to get a little bit in it, and then you could get half a shop in there, couldn't you?
But like you've just said, the opulence of the gold. It is. But then isn't he a bit grungy?
He is.
Just complete at odds to.
He needs a gold bow tie on there, though. But he's got his little. Look, cards in his hat. So it's so cool.
They were card crafty things.
Were they?
Yeah.
You can get crackers and stuff where you get bits and bobs like
absolutely. Well, that's where the idea came from, and then I just sent for some.
And you've got French knots there, and you could do all sorts. You could do hand stitching on that.
Overboard Claude. And his hat with the bits of leather.
Absolutely.
Just recycle like an old purse or, like a soft handbag.
Yeah.
But in fact, if you go to a charity shop and you ask to look in the rag bag, you can get things for rag prices.
Wow,
because it's
is it not?
Yeah. I've been in there and you just get like items for £1.
Oh right, okay.
Because let's say a tweed jacket that's got a scorch mark on it, they can't sell it.
No,
it goes for rags. No. So you can.
We need to look at
like that.
Oh, look at this guy,
Klaus von Spaceman. I watched
that guy. Yeah.
I watched a series with my young'un, and it was called Umbrella Academy.
All right.
And there's a character on there called Klaus. And when Roberta did this chap, I thought it just reminded me of Klaus. It was also a bit spaced out.
I love it because these are all, his little toes are stitched down. Yeah. And this is, if you got in the earlier show, you'd have seen some of the dolls that we did, the downloads for them and the booklets for them. And it's in the same sort of format where you can make legs, arms, heads.
Yeah, and what we've used here, it's the faux leather bias.
Right.
So if you notice that nothing's wider than that, because that was the width of the bias.
Yeah.
And lots of us have got that bias tape knocking around anyway. And just like a key, found items, anything you want on there. Roberta's just glued these little silver dots of fabric on.
And I've got tons of that when I worked for them.
Yeah, this is ribbon.
I love that.
And feathers. I mean, you can buy craft feathers. Yeah. But then equally, you can go down your local park and pick them up.
Yeah, you can.
If you do end up with like a massive crow feather, take the top bit off rather than thinking you've got to cut it down and end up with the bottom bit. Just keep the top bit because that's a bit finer, isn't it? Yeah. But I just love the detail that she's put on there.
It's again, fantastic, isn't it?
The cogs and the keys here, there can be any found items that you've got if you don't have that. But I think that moulding them, as you said,
really cool.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
that's
you could
fabulous.
do all sorts.
Oh, it's a real
you can make them in clay, UT, you name it.
Yeah.
Just to remind you of the names. So we've got shop, now, because there is a couple of names, and because one's a PDF, and we keep moving stuff, and I can't find my things, and they're here somewhere, and everyone will go, oh, there it is, oh, right in my pocket. So we've got 2 items, shop aisles, right, and that's $24.99, so this is that, and we've got shop goggles, and that's this, and that's $15.99. But if you want on PDF, it's shop round, and that is round the aisles on PDF, $24.99. Shop clock will get you the PDF of this, just to be sure. Same price, just slightly different names. So if you look on the website, it's all very clear, okay? So I want to make sure that what you think, you're looking at this thinking, I can't make that. Yes, you can. And hopefully in the next few months, Anthea's going to be here showing us how to do that and going to give us some classes on how to do it. I can't wait because I'm really looking forward to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly have a look. Can we have a little look at the inside of?
Of course we can.
I want to see, like, because I think this is so important what you were saying about the quilting. If we could have a look at that, and you can see like the back of the main quilts, because I think that's a really good place to start for some of these, isn't
definitely.
it? So where do you want to do it? Should we do it over here?
I don't mind. Yeah.
I'll
bring this over.
Yeah, please. Because these here, I'll get that there. I'll stand there, and you can explain like this, how simple these are. So
right.
Oh, I've got wrong one.
No,
it's a grouse one.
It's fine. It's fine.
The black grouse.
That's the.
And I really want to show you how it translates. I don't want to move that anymore. We're worth my job.
Oh, it's this one here. Look.
So when you're doing this, I don't want you to look at it and think it's overpowering. It starts off really.
Start with the middle.
simply.
And just follow the written instructions there.
So we start with this square.
Yeah, this.
Oh, that one, sorry.
Yeah, because you're putting your triangles
Got
on.
you.
Yeah.
So that is there.
You know, as you join it together, there you go, bit by bit.
So that is the first one what we did,
Yeah.
and then you can see this translates to these pieces, and you can see what Anthea did before when she was keeping the seam allowance, and that allows you. So you know when you get to this part here, what would your advice be?
Right. So we've got. Hang on. Let's see what we can do.
You don't have to do it. You can just show
let's
people.
See if we can.
I don't.
Let's see.
Putting you on the spot here. How rude.
It's okay. I'll just turn this.
Right.
Right, so when you push your seam allowance to one side, it's a bit bulky there.
Right.
If you put both your seam allowances the same way, it's all bulky on one side.
And you're going to break your needle.
Well, depending how thick it is, possibly. But what you do, if you push one seam allowance one way and the other way, and just push them up together, and they're what's called nest. Now, if you feel that, that doesn't
same way.
Feel, if you what I mean is, if you feel that, it doesn't feel like it's going to slide. So as you're sewing down, one of these, like I'll call it a bump, bumps into the other one, and it stops it from, you know.
That's a brilliant way, because the way I used to do it at school was so difficult, but that's so simple. Yeah. We used to have to iron it open, and then join them line to line, and that was hard.
Well, when you were dressmaking, that's hard. What you were doing, pressing your seams open.
Yeah, that was difficult.
But when we're patchworking, we always press to the dark side.
Oh, so
that's the way to remember it. Yeah. So one seam allowance one way, the other seam allowance the opposite way,
that's
and then you join them. You like, it's called butting them up there. They're nesting together. And then as you sew across, that won't move. That
equalises the weight out, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
The density.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're not feeling like, as I said, go back to.
Yeah, there's nothing like that on there. It's all smooth on here.
So if you had all the seam allowances pointing the same way, it's too thick, but it encourages it to, you know, as you're sewing across it, it encourages it to move and slide.
And it also jumps, doesn't it?
Yeah,
the needle can jump sometimes over it and leave a gap, and then that can open.
Well, it could do, but probably more than anything else.
Well, I think it's me pushing it.
But what you can also do is just put a pin in the middle.
Right,
so
okay.
Pin and just show you. So when you've got your seams like here, butted up, nested, whatever, put a pin in and go down that way. So remember when we were at school and you pinned things, and all your pins went sideways, like that, didn't they?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, things can slide. That can slide, but by putting your pin in across the seam, that way, things aren't going to slide because they can't. When you're sewing,
what a tip
or
that
down,
is!
Whatever.
That is an amazing tip. What a great! I'd never thought that.
Yeah. So that's rigid. Now we don't advocate sewing over pins, but what you can do is sew to here. And then stop, pull your pin out and carry on.
A lot of people do though, don't they? They sew over pins, but I don't like to do that. Well, do you do it?
I'm giving out advice and not necessarily
but you can do that because of your machine.
Well, it's not that. It's about your level of experience. So once you get going and that doesn't mean to say that every now and again my machine and go, you know, that horrible noise and then beep, beep, beep. And
yeah, well, mine don't beep, beep, beep. Mine's a crank, mine. Well, yeah, so sometimes people do go over them, but it's best to always take the pins out.
It is. I would take the pins out there. But so that's how you would get your nice points, as Lou was showing us.
So this could be done in fabrics. The fabrics we could use, like on here, we've got velvet, we've got like felt tweed. Can you explain wool?
So we are woolly people. We primarily use wool. You don't have to.
Why do you use wool?
It was a happy accident.
Right.
So, about 10 years ago, probably.
Right.
A friend of mine.
Okay.
Do you want the story? I'll try and condense it.
Well, we've got 6 minutes.
So she'd been at a quilt show and she'd seen this lady with a basket acting peculiarly, and she went up and she went, "Do you mind me asking what you're doing?" She went, "I'll show you outside in car park." So they went out in the car park. Right?
Are you sure? Is it 9 o'clock yet, Louis?
We're talking fabric. Boot up up in the car and there's lots of lengths of wool. They're not particularly wide, it's kind of from that, anything up to that,
Okay.
but about that long. And she bought some, and then she made this this wreath, and she came to me and she said, do you want a class on this wreath? And I'm like, oh, not half, it's gorgeous. Yeah. But I needed to supply the wool because I knew people wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
So I went to this mill, and what we were buying was, when they're making new designs, they do what they call sampling strips. So lots of you at home who've been weavers will know this better than me. They set the loom up with different chunks of warp-coloured thread and then fire the same weft across the whole thing. And they weave stripes and they cut out the one that they want to go forward. You know, must have had a look. And all the rest. So we were buying sampling strips originally. And how it came to be, the mill had been putting all these samples in a skip. And it was the mill owner's wife's friend, she was a patchworker, she went, oh, what are you doing that for?
She went skip diving.
She said, I'll show you there's a market for this, and ended up at this show with these pieces she cut out. I'm presuming she hadn't pulled them out the skip. And then
it wouldn't matter if you wash them, that's it.
That was the start of we don't buy sampling now, but whoosh, that was the start of our wool career.
Well, I think, you know, if you're looking at this from my point of view as a recycler as well, you could use ribbons on this. You could use anything you want. You could use, I like memory cushions. If you've got a family member and the shirts, you might want to cut up the shapes from their shirts and make that like that. So you can turn around and say...
Having said that, I'm not going to advocate stretchy fabrics.
Oh, no.
I know some people do with memory stuff, but I'm not advocating.
I would say cotton base and some, you know, not stretchy, because it doesn't matter how good you are. Stretchy means that when you put these on, it'll be all skew width.
Right, so the other thing is about these, if you like this background...
This is sort of, I have to tell you, this is shop aisles. This is $15.99. Okay. No, it isn't.
If you like this background, but you like this applique, you can mix and match. There's nothing that says that your English fell pony has got to be on this. And
what's this one called?
This is English paper piecing. And what you do, you get some just cut some paper hexagons.
Yeah.
Put your fabric over the top. It's all in there.
Is that what that means? I thought that was to do with fabric, but it means that.
No, you've got your paper. You can use other things, but you've got your hexagon, which is cut to that size.
Yeah.
Put your fabric over the top.
Yeah.
And then just hand tack it, just big loppy stitches. And then what you do is, you know, this morning when we did the twee box and we joined the pieces.
Yeah.
And not only could you do ladder stitch, but you could sew over the side, right sides together. That's how you join these.
Right, okay, because I can see.
Now, it can also bring you down the line. We've been machine joining these.
Yeah. You can see it's really neat,
for this particular cushion, we're hand joining these. It's not a difficult. Not difficult to do. But you would...
that is a labour of love. I would sit there watching telly and I'd be doing that simply.
So you would have your hexagons which are tacked over the paper. Yeah. And you can buy papers ready cut as well
I've seen
in various sizes. And then you would put so pretend that's one hexagon and that's another hexagon. Right sides together and you just sew over the top. Yeah. So you'd be binding over that edge there. Okay. And then when you open them out, you can't see the stitching on this side.
Would you then take the paper out?
Yeah.
Or would you leave that independent on what it is?
You'd take your tacking stitches out and then you'd be able to remove your papers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because can you imagine that having paper in it?
Oh,
it wouldn't really work.
Mind you, I know someone who stuffed the cushions with packaging. No, plastic packaging. Oh, it was a nightmare like that all the time.
I can imagine.
But she said the dogs loved it. Oh. Right, so I'm just going to quickly, we've only got a minute left. I want to just quickly remind you of what we've got on the show. So the first thing is we've got shop goggles, right? That's the PDF, and that's $15.99.
Physical one.
That's the physical one. And then we shop goggles, is that right? Physical one. And that's $15.99. We've got shop aisles, and that's $24.99. Now, don't forget that you've got all the patterns that you can make these for.
If you put the wrong one in your basket and you realise, what can we do about it?
I don't think they will, because what's the difference, Lewis?
In what way?
Is it like a hard copy or PDF? They're both PDFs, aren't they?
No, you've got a hard copy of each, and you've got a PDF.
Right, the PDFs are Shop Round, which is the top one there. No, Shop Round. This is Shop Round for the PDF, $24.99. Shop Clock PDF will be the steampunk one. So that is that. And then the next one is Shop Aisles, which is this one, which is the physical copy, which is $24.99. Shop Goggles would be the physical one at the end, and that's $15.99. So basically, just two things, and it's got PDF on it. So hopefully that won't be confusing. Now we're out of time, so I will have to say I'm so sorry for taking up time, but it's been wonderful, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.